When you took this off, I was like, dude, what is that?
What up, JB crew? Welcome back to another banger. Today, we're going through something y'all all have been asking for. This full walkthrough, this amazing World Tour drum set. Got my boy Muncaster. We're going through everything from the drums, cymbals, drum heads, everything top to bottom. Come on back as me and Monks walk out through this amazing kit. First things first, we're just gonna go through our Pearl drum setup. Now this is a whole reference one, the newest model that they make, absolutely phenomenal. On this rig, we got an 8, 10, 12, we go 16, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 16, 18, 22-inch kick.
Yeah.
Do you know the depths of all these?
8 is 7.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 is 7.
Yep.
12 is 8.
Yep.
16 by 16. 18 by 16. 22 by 18.
This is why Monks is the man.
It's quite deep actually, isn't it, for kick drum?
It's a vibe though.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Like we thought about going 20, but 22 just seems to work better for this situation.
For sure.
And
especially
then,
in those big rooms as well, because you kind of, like a 20 is so fun to play, right?
Right.
But it ain't gonna fill that space like that.
No chance.
Do you remember when we put this together, I was like, this 8 gotta go over here. I just wanted you to play them fills that all start line. And he's like, no, because then that's all I'll ever do. And now, where you play that now, I'm like, oh my, every night, I'm like,
it's the right moments.
Steve, this is why you play when I just set them up.
Hey man, teamwork. Then we got these incredible snare drums, which my greedy behind wanted both of these. So we got a 14 by 5, reference 1 brass, and a 14 by 6.5 on this one. Yeah. 6.5, reference 1 brass. So they're identical, just different sizes. Monk's got to tell you about this because I got nothing.
The idea when we were coming up with it was to try and have like a kind of piccolo sound, right?
Exactly.
Like sort of a trappy sort of snare. The sizes that we could get at the time, it's like, so it's 12 diameter and it's 7 deep. So it's a funky sized drum. I don't think I've ever worked with a 12 by 7
I don't know, neither.
It cracks for sure.
It's on go.
As long as you rim shot it, it'll take your ears off, which is the idea.
Yeah, I mean, all these drums are just, they're going for it the whole time because this dude tunes my kit like a mofo all the time. So 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 22, 14 by 5, 14 by 6.5,
12 by 7.
Yep. He just told me this shit. But no, honestly, we worked really hard putting this together. We're very happy about where this has turned out. And then the rack itself, also by Pearl. Monks is a guru, but this year we wanted to make sure our stuff stayed on one side of this, which is the top tier, and then the bottom went to our incredible audio team. So it's a very clean setup. We don't have anything on the ground besides really snare stands and tom. Everything else is on the rack. So we don't have any mic stands that are on the ground.
Because even the overhead mics now, which would normally kind of come up here, we have sort of out to the side and they come off the bottom.
But our whole concept was we wanted the audience to look at a very clean stage. Nothing should be distracting in our world. So that was a primary focus. And I think the last video y'all saw where Monks was giving me my talkbacks are also mounted, but it's not here right now.
I was giving you doesn't sound like me.
No way you did.
Yeah, so these are the microphone mounts. So we'll put these on this bottom section here. For like the audio team, they're in the exact same spot every day. Everything's memory locked. This one's brand new, so it's not in situ yet. And everything's labeled, so like this bottom piece is called A for audio, and then B for backline.
Did you really A, B that for that reason?
Yeah.
Well thought out, because
audio, right?
What you said makes logical sense. I just wouldn't have gone that far. But yeah, that's our entire Pro drum setup. We're gonna talk to y'all about drum heads next, so let's get it.
Am I all right?
Please get it together.
What is happening?
You haven't slept, that's why.
Jesus.
I'm almost with. All right, so now we're going through all the Remo heads. Once again, shout out to Remo for blessing us, taking care of us. Best drum heads in the game. On all the toms, we're on the batter side, we're on P4s. And that was a choice for us because originally last year we went vintage Emperors on the reference pure kit, but the reference one we found that the P4s just worked out a little bit better for.
Yeah, they're a little easier to control because there's a bit more of a rounded sound. They're really, really focused, which is helpful for your sound because you like quite a dead to the point.
Yeah,
sort
like,
of
let's get out of the way.
Drum. Yeah, there's not heaps of resonance, which is helpful. Like with this extra ply ring around the edge of it, it just kind of kills a lot of those overtones, and just anybody that is a drum tech will know they are easy to cheat.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code, but they work perfectly. Down here with the no resonant heads, because on the bottom of the floor toms there, Jarvis doesn't have the resonant heads.
It's a cheat code.
So this, with the muffling on the top and the thick head, they're just like all-out assault.
Like you said last time, it's kick one.
Yeah, kick two and kick three. Exactly.
But I want the arena to move.
Yeah.
When we're working with Curtis at the front of the house, like Monks and Curtis do an incredible job just making sure all these tones come through clear. So absolutely amazing. What's on the resonant side of toms?
Emperors, which again is a little bit thicker, again, just to try and kill some of that sustain a little bit, because normally you would go, traditionally, if you were playing Remo, you would go like Emperor over Ambassador.
Right.
Which is a single ply head, but with the Emperor on the bottom, it's just, again, just kills them a little bit quicker.
Is this 2-ply?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2-ply and 2-ply.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jarvis would do this. You know, sounds like a thing I would do.
It doesn't sound like something you would do.
I make no sense, but the drums sound great. And then no reso, which Monks just said, which is great. What are we doing on the batter side of the kick?
Power Stroke 3.
It's still one of my favorite heads.
It's like an untouchable drum head, that, isn't it? It's
Exactly.
like a classic, and it always works. I've never been in a situation on any gig ever where it's not gonna work.
It's like the SM57 audio. Like you just know for a snare drum mic, that's usually gonna work.
With a kick drum head as well, especially unless you're, if you're jazzing, then it's a
Sure,
different evening. But
sure,
like,
sure.
if you just want the kick drum to just sound like a kick drum, then
This is the way.
you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It just works.
It just works.
Yeah.
It just works. Now you understand. Black Max, my favorite head.
Yeah, that was very much a you thing.
100%. For what we're doing in the pop mainstream world right now, this cuts through the arena like no other.
Oh, it cuts through everything. It cuts through glass. It's like, it's absurd.
But we did it also on the aux snare too.
Yeah, it works on both ways. So this guy is tuned like pretty low, and this one's just cranked all the way up. And because it's a marching head,
Right.
you can go way up there with
Yeah,
it,
we could
right?
shoot to the moon.
But then it also sits really nicely super low.
I find that we don't work as hard to tune. Well, obviously it's not hard to tune, but we don't work hard to tune anything.
Not now, we've got it dialed. Because you remember like with the 8 as well, naturally you really want to go right up there with that. But now we've found it and it's perfect.
We battled for a minute on that one, but then we settled on all around. It just P4 just worked out. And then the last snare is
The Emperor Black Suede we tried on here. We went with the controlled sound originally, right?
yes, that was the first choice.
Again, we just couldn't get it to go high enough. It's got a bit more definition to it, this, and it's not as thick in the middle, because with the controlled sound, you've got the 2 plies, but then the dot, which makes it like a triple ply in the middle.
Exactly.
And this is just a 2-ply head. In an ideal world, put one of these marching the Black Max heads on that, but they don't make them in 12. So Remo,
Oh, come on.
make one in 12.
Just for me.
For the boys, please.
We don't ask much.
We do. I'm emailing Roger like 15 times a week.
I know.
Bro, want these? No, Jarvis
Love
wants to change
Roger.
it.
Thank you, brother, for
Jarvis
this
wants to
pairing.
change it again, dog. Like,
Bro. Okay, so I'm notorious for changing my mind all the time, which impacts his orders.
for the European and UK tour, right? I ordered, I don't know what it was, like 15 of each head.
Yeah, it was crazy.
There's a lot of drum heads. Get to rehearsals, and he's like, yeah, I want to use different heads. So I've just got like at home, this giant box in our studio just full of all these drums. I don't even have drums that are right size.
We might need
So
them.
they're gonna get sent back, but unfortunately, Remo, you can't have them until November. We're away till.
Yeah, we're going for a while, so it'll come back to you.
Yeah,
So
you'll
next.
get them eventually. I'll tell you what, Remo, you can have them back when you make us a 12 black box for that. How's
That's
that?
the exchange. I didn't say that. He did. That's y'all's deal. You can have them back. But that's pretty much the whole spec of the drum heads, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going through our Zildjian setup with all my cymbals here. So brief kind of like overview about why I chose what I chose. Where my drums position on stage is stage right. So the artist is typically to my left. So I chose cymbals that will not interfere with the audio team that much or the artist. So you'll notice as we go through this that all my faster cymbals sit to my left-hand side, and all the cymbals that have a little more decay, larger in size, sit to my right because they're not gonna interfere too much. So as we go through this, you'll see exactly what I'm saying.
I didn't know that.
No?
That makes sense. Smart.
That would, sometimes.
Respect.
My favorite hi-hats, and I think slowly has won you over.
I love them. I'm screaming through the show every night. What's that one song? There's a bit where you.
Oh, it's like an interstitial. That we
Yeah,
got.
and you just play like open.
It's
quarter
open.
note, and I'm like, oh, every night. screaming
Every
in your
night.
mic.
He's gonna talk back. I'm like, yo, I gotta play this.
I was going, woo, hi hats.
All right, so we got 14-inch sweet hats. Well, K-Sweet hats, right?
Yep.
Yeah, K-Sweet hats, 14-inch. Right above that, quick action here, a custom EFX 10-inch splash, right? And then we go 18. Actually, I think I have every size of this damn cymbal minus 14.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
Oh yeah, because there's a 16 under there as well, huh?
Yeah, I have every size of this. If you're ever curious what my favorite cymbal is, there you go. So it's an 18-inch EFX A Custom Crash. To the right of that, my main crash is a K-Sweet. And we went back and forth with this for a second. We decided between cluster and sweet, and I feel like this is a better blend for the music that we have, but let me go to this side. You'll understand why. 10-inch A custom splash. I think this is on every single one of my kits.
Yeah, fair.
I think this lives all the time.
The staple.
And then this one, we actually changed this year.
Yes, because that was a 12 last year.
This is a little secret sauce. And I can't even take credit for this one. This is Rico. Rico, I peeped it, stole it, vibes, but shout out to you, Rico, for being incredible. 10-inch Oriental, I guess it's technically an Oriental China, 10-inch. Yeah. And then an 11-inch, the fact they make an 11 is brilliant. 11-inch trash splash over here. And I think probably the newest addition to my setups in general, which has become also a crowd favorite, is the Crash of Doom. Now, anybody who knows the Crash of Doom knows this is the vibe. Like, Tony loves it, Nate loves it, everybody loves this cymbal, and I just never had it.
It sounds unreal.
It's nuts how...
It's surprising how good the bell is on that, because it's such a trashy, wild sounding cymbal. On the set list last year, there's a few ride moments, but on this set list, there's not really any ride bits. So you're just crashing on that, but every now and again, you're playing up on the bell and just doing like little licks between the bell and the hats in the sort of interstitials and stuff, and it sounds mega.
They work.
Which is really surprising. I had no idea that the bell was so good on that.
Me either. I think we were just doing rehearsals one day and I was just messing around. I was like, ooh, this is nice. This probably will not leave my setup anymore. Now this hoss of a stack. Once again, I have one of each side of this. 16-inch Oriental, and then a 16-inch EFX joint. Sticks tailored, boom, Dev. Shout out to Dev. Dev put me on this stack. If you haven't noticed, my friends are dope. Rico, Dev, they care. Now we went 20-inch over here, which is, I think this size is new. So this year it's newer, but we also went to larger rooms. So now we're playing arenas, thank God. So we went to a 20-inch crash, and then like I said, I have every single one of these. 20-inch EFX, a custom crash here, which is nuts. And then the one that magically made its little guest appearance. When did we change this?
I don't know. I don't even know where that came from.
I think we added it like in the middle of a show one time. That sounds like something we would do, because well, I get bored. Is this it is a special dry. Yeah, special
Did you
dry.
have that with the old hats? Because you had the special dry hats before, right?
Yes, that's exactly why that happened. And we just had it around. I was like, let's get it.
Where's it gonna live? There. Of course it is.
That was the choice.
Why would it not?
But it gets used a lot.
Yeah, it does. It works. Fair play.
It gets, especially coming from the 8 to here.
Yeah, right.
It works a lot. And then even like if I'm to the right, if I'm doing something big, I don't want a full crash. I need something to make sure the transition ships over. This works out well. And where Curtis has our overheads set up, they're typically out here. So it cuts through perfectly. That's the full specs of that.
Can I just take a moment now to apologize for how disgusting these cymbals are at the minute? It's driving me insane.
We're gonna dock your pay a little bit. It's okay, but
it's not how I'm normally rolling, but by the time you see this or you see them at a show, they'll be shiny again, I promise. So when you took this off, I was like, dude, what is that?
You know, it is what it is.
I'll fix that.
They sound great though.
They do.
Zildjian's the best. We're in this game of imagery. So it has to look good. But that's a full Zildjian setup. Now our last thing is we're just gonna go through sticks, which is an amazing thing. Shout out to Vic Firth for always taking care of us. And Monks loves how much I change sticks. Beginning of Europe, we went to 5A, and then I was breaking them a little bit more. And in the middle of that, I was like, I gotta go to a 5B.
Yeah, people don't know this, but you can get 3 different weights of Vic Firth sticks. So they come in like heavy, mediums, or lights. But in Europe, that's really difficult to specify. But in the US, you can say which ones you want. Is it 3 weights or just 2? Maybe it's just mediums and heavy.
It might just mean heavy.
Yeah, I might have that wrong. Anyway, we went to the 5A heavy for a bit, and then we couldn't get any of them. And then the 5A mediums weren't cutting it.
No, it wasn't working.
And then we got a bunch of 5Bs, but they were the heavy ones, and they were really heavy, right?
They felt like marching bands.
Yeah, right.
Which was fine. I'm all for it. I just like the width of the 5B, but I like the weight of the 5A heavy. So we had to find a hybrid that worked out well, which was, this 5B is nuts. So what am I using right now?
That's just the medium 5Bs. If you just buy them online, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you can grab them anywhere. So long story short, Vic has everything you need. Everything, okay? What else is in this bag? Mallets, which I always have, a lot of cymbal rolls, things like that. If I don't want a harsh wood sound on the cymbals, I'll use the felts, a lot of the ballad stuff that we have, get in and out. And even some of the tom stuff, like in one of the songs, it's a double tom kick joint. It is a much warmer tone. So that's pretty much all the sticks that I'm using. We're in arena, so there's not a lot of soft stuff, but you do notice if for any reason we decide to change anything, if we want to do something a little more stripped down, I always have brushes, I always have rods. Once again, Vic has everything that you're ever gonna need. Now, if you look at pretty much every single one of the drums, minus the aux drum, you'll notice RTOM is existing. Moongels are a big thing about what we use. As Monks mentioned, well, he can tell you more, my tones that I like are a little more condensed. How do you use RTOM Moongels combined with Remo to get the tone.
If you're in a studio session or something, right, sometimes you'll go nuts and tune the drums to like an actual note. I've done sessions where I'm tuning drums to a piano. But with this, like, I'm going for the intervals. I'm kind of going for Star Wars, like ding, dun, 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 dun,
Oh.
dun, 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 dun. That's what I'm going for.
Okay, vibes.
So I'll get to the actual note, and then I'll just use the RTOM Moongels just to soak up some of that resonance a little bit. So I'll put one on the bottom usually. The new ones actually are so good because they used to kind of fall off a little bit. Other brands, sometimes they just fall off the bottom, so you got to tape it on. But these,
They've improved it a lot.
these have been on there since like the first day of this tour, which is
nuts.
Months ago. On the bottom head there, on the reso head, it just soaks up some of that resonance. So you're just getting the note, basically, of the drum. The drum's not sitting there and singing for a week. It just goes, boom.
Yep, in and out.
Yeah.
I like tones where I can get literally, I want you to hear it, and then I don't want it to live in your spirit too long. I want the moment to feel good, and then we're in and out. So Monks has used Moongels here forever with me, and they've done an incredible job. And then the last thing you guys will see is all of the Roland gear that we're using. So major shout out to Roland for just providing an incredible product. Roland SPD SX Pro, at this point, it's my go-to. A lot of other guys use the TD50 or the TM6, that kind of stuff, which is all personal preference. You'll see a lot of triggers on each one of the drums. Don't ask me what they do. They trigger things.
Some of them.
Some of them do, and then some of them are used by our incredible audio team as gates.
Yeah.
So a little free game for you all. Over here, Phantom 7. Play a good amount of stuff on the road. A lot of pads, strings, Rhodes, pianos, and that kind of stuff that exists here. Some synth stuffs, some sweet leads happen in the middle of the show, but that's essentially all of the extras that we're using right now. So between Vic Firth Drumsticks, Roland Electronics, I mean, we have everything that we need, top to bottom, across the board of what we need.
For sure.
And that's a wrap on the full breakdown of my world tour drum setup. So we want to thank Pro Drums, Remo Drumheads, Zildjian Cymbals, Vic Firth Drumsticks, and RTOM for always just lacing us, making sure we're well taken care of on the road. And that's a wrap. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.